Jumping in mid-series, we're jumping into game number 2, and as you can see on the screen, SHIN is leading the series 1-0 versus Cure. Let's go. Oh, sorry. There we go. Again, we have seen a lot of SHIN recently. We saw SHIN take down Cure, I believe, at Katowice. I believe SHIN took him down there. And now this is a rematch. Can Cure get his revenge, or will history repeat itself once again? As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Solaris, we have our South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the blue Zerg representing himself, currently teamless. It is SHIN. I'm just double checking here because I don't want to say the wrong thing, just to make sure. And yes, okay, so if you were here last week, you would have been here for the IM rebroadcast that we did, where we were going over the replays of IM Katowice, the group stage, and SHIN popped off in the group stage. SHIN, he popped off. If you are unaware, one, I recommend the VODs because there were some really good games, but SHIN at IM Katowice a couple of weeks ago, he was able to bring down Cure 2-0, he beat Clem 2-0, and he beat Oliveira 2-0. SHIN in Zerg versus Terran, he popped off. It was crazy. The only player he lost to was Bunny. And Bunny, to be fair, he's becoming a TvZ specialist. We casted We casted Bunny at IM Katowice, he beat SHIN, and we casted Bunny at in the GSL qualifiers, and Bunny beat Dark. Like, Bunny, his Terran versus Zerg is looking really good right now. So for SHIN to lose to Bunny, no shame whatsoever. And again, SHIN, he beat some of the other big Terran players in the world. To beat Cure and Clem and Oliveira at IEM was wild. So really good stuff out of SHIN. That was a couple of weeks ago. SHIN is leading the series here once again against Cure. Again, can Cure do what Clem, what Oliveira, what even he himself could not? Can Cure bounce back and take some maps, take a series off of SHIN? We're here to find out. It is going to be 2-Racked Reaper. 2-Racked Reaper out of Cure. It is going to be zooming across the map. I believe SHIN also beat Cure in the GSL qualifiers, right? I want to double check, but I remember seeing them face off twice. I remember seeing them face off as Reaper is getting across the map. It is going to be a hatch gas pull to a third base by SHIN. SHIN going for a standard opener. Drone, ooh, is going to get picked off though. Nicely done here by Cure. Very good pickup. Drone kill should not be happening here. It does manage to pull it off. And yes, I have confirmation. So, because we also casted this last week. We casted so much last week. So we casted the IM group stage. If you were here for the GSL qualifiers, SHIN also beat Cure in the GSL qualifiers to qualify for GSL as well. So SHIN has just been popping off in this matchup. He's beaten Cure twice in these big events, in these most recent events. But now we've hit our ESL Asia weekly. Let's go. Let's fight back. Reapers, they do pick up a couple of lings. We're going to be rotating around. SHIN, of course, getting eyes on the follow-up. We do see that it is going to be a third CC into a... So, yeah, it's going to be a third CC into a 2-1-1 setup. As a third command center is on the way in the main base before the starport. And this is something that Cure does love to do. If you've been watching Cure as of late, over the past 2 months, you would know that he loves mixing in Cyclones. Now, this Cyclone opener, I believe it's only 2. He could go up to 4 Cyclones, but this is just for map control. It is just to shut down Overlords, just to shut down Queens, just to help support the army when it comes to clearing up tumors. We are not massing Cyclones. It is just a supportive unit here. Just to open. Should be going to Hellions thereafter. Meanwhile, SHIN back at home is going for the Roach Warren. Early Roach Warren here from SHIN. Roaches are amassing and we will soon be moving out. We can see it's only 2 Cyclones, then we go into Hellions. Again, the Cyclones can help focus down Queens and Overlords. So this force suddenly becomes a little bit more terrifying. Lings, they do get eyes on the army. SHIN, he does see, he is aware the Overlord does barely get onto the high ground. Gets onto that pillar. Cure rotating around. And Overlord a little bit exposed. And can we focus down? Looks like we can. Ooh, and that will supply block SHIN. And again, that's kind of the purpose of this cyclone, to catch these overlords as we're going for another. And a second overlord will fall as well. Oof. Considering that SHIN is not droning, considering that SHIN is making Ling Roach, I'm concerned. I'm concerned about these supply blocks, as SHIN is being delayed by so long, by so much. You can see SHIN trying to collapse on this. Roaches have been revealed, and back at home we need bunkers. There it is, bunkers on the way. SHIN is committed. He is committed here, and he just cannot engage with his Lings. The Cyclones, they just kite this army so well. Really good movement out of Cure. Catches a Ravager. Does focus it down across the map. You can see that SHIN, he wants to commit here. He will deny some of these add-ons. Ooh, as Cure is supply blocked. Oh, everyone's getting supply blocked, Papi. The Lings, they catch a Cyclone. They do barely get the Cyclone. Nice control there out of SHIN, using the Speed Zone. Does use the Speed Zone, does collapse on this army, will clean everything up. Takes down the Cyclones, takes down the Hellions. At the same time, Ravagers, they're laying siege upon the natural base. Cure in a bit of trouble, has to back up with this production. Bunker will survive. We only have 5 Ravagers. We did lose that Sig. And we're going for the bunker. Ooh, we barely don't get it. Again, imagine one more Bile. Imagine a 6th Ravager. That could have been it. Everything. And it looks like we held. Yeah, we focused down so many Ravagers. Only 2 survives. SHIN backs off. SHIN is droning. And SHIN is in a rough position. Remember, this was a hatch tech all-in. SHIN, he just now started his lair. This is a 6-minute 30 lair timing. This is brutal. Very late lair, very late tech, very late upgrades, no roach speed. Cure, he survives, and now Cure, he's in the driver's seat. He's in control. Double E-base, double upgrades. 3rd base can now be taken. Production getting up and running. Upgrades soon to be on the way. The game is going to settle from here, but I don't think SHIN is quite out of the woodworks yet. But at least we did disrupt the production, which did slow some things down. But you can see Cure starting to take a lead here in the supplies. Has a comparable worker count, plus mules, 4 CC on the way as he takes his 3rd. Right now, the pressure is on SHIN to get some counter damage done. The pressure is on. As from here, SHIN, I don't think he's going to be droning anymore. He's droned up to 55, which is under 3-base saturation. You can see here that his 3rd isn't even saturated. And that is 6 Overlords. Why are we making 6 Overlords? To max out on Roaches. SHIN, he's going for a 2nd all-in, which I think is a good move. I think, considering the first all-in failed, we're going to be behind in a macro game. Straight up, we're going to be behind in a macro game. So I think SHIN, he wants to double down on aggression. Laying around by, runs into tanks. Tanks are in position. We collapse on them, but no, we do get punished. Lings, they get shaved off. Ravagers are amassing. Roaches as well. Now, how good is our defensive position here? No tank on the high ground. Bear that in mind. There's no tank on the high ground. All 3 tanks are here exposed on low ground instead. No bunkers are set up. Can SHIN pull this attack off? First, he has to deal with the drop. And the drop is going to be buying a lot of time. Going to be buying a lot of time. You can see Cure getting up to 73 SCVs. And SHIN hasn't made a single worker in minutes. It's been quite some time. Goes for the scan. Overlords are exposed. We're going for a dive. Yeah, we're going for the Overlords. SHIN, he's getting supply blocked. What you see is what you get. Commits across the map. Bile's going to be taking down the tanks, but these Ravagers are exposed. Where are the Lings? Where is the support? The Marines, they stim on forward as they are barely being forced back. Yeah, this is a rough fight for SHIN. GG gets called. He doesn't gain any ground. And Cure will tie up the series 1-1. Let's go. We have a back and forth. We have a back and forth. Something that we haven't had the entire day. We haven't had it the entire day, Papi. So I'm happy to see an ace match. We're going the distance here. It all comes down to game number 3. Again, it was a really strong defense from Cure, the initial attack. If you remember, it was huge that Cure killed a Ravager in the middle of the map. He killed a Ravager in the center of the map. And without that Ravager, the bunker couldn't be broken. We had that much less DPS. The all-in did fail, and the Cure snowballed out of control. Out of control there. And SHIN, I do like the idea of going for a secondary all-in, just because I don't think he could play a macro game, but the execution there, or again, like Cure, he just had so much of a lead at that point. It didn't even matter. He was ready for it. SHIN did not have enough. Now we get into game 3. Let's go. Let us go. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Alkione, we have our South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran representing Team Liquid, forcing the ace match, tying up the series 1-1. Can he get his revenge from these past couple of big events like GSL and IEM? Let's see if he can. It is a Cure for Team Liquid. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing himself. Again, he has been on fire recently in the ZBT matchup, but can he stay on fire? Can he keep that fire going? It is SHIN, as he has been forced into the ace match, going for a hatch first. There's going to be a hatch first opener here by SHIN. So it's going to be Hatchcat's pool, I imagine. And we're loading into Alkione. And strap yourselves in, because this map is known for its late game. It's known for its split map scenario. We've seen it time and time again, especially in the Zerg versus Terran matchup. That is where the game should be headed. But we're talking about SHIN. And SHIN is a very aggressive player. As we just saw, we saw a 2-base all-in followed by a 3-base all-in, right? Like SHIN, he is very aggressive by nature. And as a result, just because the map leads to macro games doesn't mean that's what we're going to be getting. So Curie has to be on top of his scouting. He has to be on top of his scouting, has to make sure he's aware of what SHIN is up to, and the Curie has to make sure he's not too greedy. It's going to be a Rax expand. We already see that Curie is respecting SHIN. Not uncommon to see Terran players to go CC first. We've seen quite a lot of CC first on Alkione, but against SHIN, Curie refuses. He goes for a safer, less greedy Rax expand. Still economic, but again, not cutting any corners. It's a risky prospect here to cut corners against SHIN. SCV going to be rotating around, checking and trying to delay the third base from being taken. Drone comes in, but the SCV is here to zone that drone away. And as we back off, Cure, he has arrived with that Reaper, going to be dancing with the Lings. Again, SHIN shouldn't be losing anything here. Losing a Ling would be less than ideal, as long as he doesn't lose the drone though. As up, oh my god. The Reaper, he wants that Ling. So greedy from Cure, he will back off, he will escape. Doesn't quite get it there, went for the dive. And no one loses anything. Except for the fact that the third base is not here. Third base has been quite delayed for SHIN. He is sending out his drone, but the Reaper's in position. Yeah, the drone is going to be zoned back. SHIN getting into his Overlord production. Hatchery is not going to be thrown down. Oh my god. Up! He wants it. He wants the drone. And the third base finally gets thrown down here on location. Whew. So close to going down. Cure doesn't get it, but he did delay. It was a very nice delay on this third base. Cure back at home, going for a third CC before starport, so economic follow-up here by Cure. Going for his 3-base setup. And this looks like an add-on swap. This looks like a Banshee-based opener. So 3 CC into Banshee. Starport is done. There's the add-on swap, and we are going for Banshee production. We'll see how hard we commit if we go into Cloak. If we commit into Cloak or not. As Banshees are now in production. behind this, we do see SHIN just getting into his own third. Again, a delayed third, droning on up. Going to be oversaturating his natural, going to be maynarding over. And if SHIN realizes what's going on, he should be free to go for double Evo chambers. Should be free to get into faster upgrades. But we'll see. We'll see if SHIN even embraces that. We'll see if he goes roaches again. As we saw previously, SHIN, he is a bit of a roach boy. He is fond of them whenever he can. Ling does get in for the scout, does get eyes on the 1-1-1. He saw the researching tech lab. SHIN is aware of the cloak banshees. He saw everything he needed to. And we should soon be seeing spores thrown down. And there, as we say it, there it is. Spore into the main, spore into the natural, and a spore at the third base as well. So SHIN is fully aware of what's going on. He's preparing. Back at home, he's amassing more queens. We're up to 7, soon to be 10 queens. That's a lot of queens, but that is going to be a lot of queens. As there it is double Evo chamber before the lair, so very greedy opener here by SHIN, but after the Link Scout, I mean, he knows he can get away with it. Again, so double Evo chamber, double upgrades, leading into delayed lair and delayed Bailing Nest, but I mean, again, this is all lined up to get into Bailing speed and to get into faster upgrades. So pretty solid build here from SHIN. He should get away with it as the Banshees do slip into the main base, sorry, into the natural. And they get a couple of drone kills already. Very nice target firing out of Kior. Gets 3 gas mining workers. Heads over towards the gas geyser as well. Does get quite a bit of damage done on it. Yeah, Kior just being a nuisance here. Can he get a kill on the gas geyser? He's so close, and he will. The gas geyser goes down. Again, no critical damage, but good value nonetheless here for Kior. Comes in with some Hellions. Takes down as many tumors as he can. Queens will force this back. Will force it back for the time being, as SHIN has gone into his 4th, and we have our tech of choice. It's going to be Ling Bane into Hydras. So a very standard composition here from SHIN. Just going to be Ling Bane Hydra. Going up against a Bio Tank, as Kior is going for a 7-minute push. He does have a couple of Hellions, I believe. Is the armory done? The armory, no, not quite. So no Hellbats with this. Just Marines, just a tank, and a handful of Hellions as well. Banshees are being forced back, and that means the Queens are out of position. The Queens are not here to defend. It's going to have to be on the Ling Bane. 1-1, still not quite done. A very crisp push here by Kior with only a single tank. And SHIN, he needs a little bit more time. We get the Overlord. We get an Overlord, we get a Bailing. Kior achieving quite a bit of damage. He now kicks in with his own 1-1 upgrades and combat shields. And SHIN, he collapses on the army. Goes first around. Gets us up with some of the Marines here. Bailings, they crash into the Hellions, into the Hellbats. The Hellions even. And we will clean this up. Ooh, nice tank volleys on the Bailings. Very nicely done. Only one Bailing does survive. But SHIN, he should be able to hold. And with the support of his Queens, with the support of his Ling Bane, he will survive. Gets his 4th base up and running. Drones up to 71. Sorry, drones up to 80. Making 7 more drones behind this. So he does force the pick up. Reinforcements on the way. Kior, he doesn't want to stop. He wants to keep on going. He's now up to 2 tanks, but the creep is spreading, and Kior doesn't really have that much momentum right now. And he has to be careful. Ooh, as he does take a Bailing to the face. Aye. That's quite a lot of Marines going down. Kior does not want to give up on this position, does not want to let this creep spread. SHIN at the same time going for his own counterattack. Alas, there is no fourth base, there is no gold. Cure expanding on the other side. Oh, a little bit unlucky there by SHIN. As SHIN, he doesn't see, he doesn't know. So the Ling run by does nothing. More reinforcements on the way, more tanks on the way, more importantly. And with those tanks, this army is going to be heavily bolstered. You see SHIN going for a backstab, he knocks down those rocks. Uh-oh. And there's not much of him to defend. Oh, nah, we have reinforcements. We should be fine. Ling's a head over towards the fourth base. Planetary not quite done yet. We're going to get a couple of SCVs. I mean, yeah, we get 3 workers. It's okay. We confirm the 4th. But SHIN is still up against the wall. As we are going for a bailing run by. Let's go. Bailing run by towards that planetary. Steaming on forward. Again, Cure still trying to break this fourth base. Very little creep here, by the way. And SHIN comes in from behind. Gets us around. Will clean up the tanks. Good target firing on the Bailings. And SHIN is going to be forced back. Once again, very nice target firing. Every single Bailing gets sniped. Brutal losses, but we do get into the middle line. 13 SCVs go down. SHIN, he does do quite a dent to the economy here, but Kiri's not stopping. The Bailings are coming in. We're trying. 10 Bailings on the way. As the Queens, they come together here. We get on top of the tank. And we should be able to hold. Just barely. Another tank comes in to reinforce. The Bailings are rolling on in. They're trying to at least. Ooh. Yeah, the Queen's working against SHIN there. The Ling Bane could not engage. An efficient fight for Cure. How many Queens did he get? 8 Queens went down. Ay, ay, ay. We did get some more CV kills. Tank sleepwalking forward. SHIN, he's in a lot of trouble. He's down in army supply. His only chance here is to catch out these Marines. Here we go. We do roll in. We get on top of some of these tanks. Bailings, they try to connect, but they cannot. The spread is too good, and Curie snowballing out of control. Very good trade. Very good concave. As Ling Bane does roll on forward. We're going to try and collapse on this army here. We do get on top of some of these tanks. The Hydras, they're pushing through. We're trying to at least, and this Hydra-based army is going to be able to barely force Cure back. As we cleaned up the tanks. Again, I wasn't believing that we just barely had enough Ling Bane. Cure still has a good economy behind this. He has rebuilt his SCVs. He has a 5th base on the way. But finally, Cure backs off, and finally, SHIN, he can breathe. Up. Dust wants to cancel on the gold. Ling Rambai coming in. Planetary is done. Ooh, Ling Rambai doesn't achieve too much. As the Lings instead, they head towards that 3rd base. We get into the middle line. SCVs are going to be going down. A good counterattack here by SHIN. A very necessary counterattack. Again, he needs Cure to back off. He needs Cure to give him a little bit more time to rebuild his army. To remax. He's working on +3 upgrades. He's working on the Lurker Den. Vipers have arrived. You can see that the quality of SHIN's army is getting better. Cure's isn't. Looking at his army composition, there is a Ghost Academy, but no Ghosts yet. There we go. We're working towards it. No Liberators either. As Cure commits to Bio-Tank, SHIN is going to be looking stronger and stronger. As SHIN is about to max. We see Cure going for a split push. SHIN expanding towards the north. SHIN has an army in position. Had an army in position. Okay, we're good. As we do pull back. Vipers are coming in. We're going for the Medivacs. Give us the yoinks. Medivacs, they try to boost away. Yeah, we do split up. Cure, he knows that he will be losing them. One goes down, and we will get the other 2 as well. Oof, all 3 medevacs. Big losses there by Cure. At the same time, does he care though? Because he pushes right through the center. Hatcher getting very low. The melees, they connect. Big connections on the Marines. A good fight for SHIN. Tanks, they will be within range of the goal base, but now SHIN, he can focus on this army. He can focus on this push as he dealt with the drops. He gets a full surround. He will clean Cure up. A much more dominant couple of fights here for SHIN. The drops go down. The push gets shut down as well. And Cure is in a lot of trouble. As we did mention, Cure, he was so committed earlier to breaking SHIN, and he just barely didn't. And now SHIN, it's his turn to snowball out of control. He has the Vipers, he has Lurkers. He has the one Lurker. As he gets into the mineral line, we do yoink in a tank. As with these reinforcements, SHIN, he may just have too much once again. And he may just have Cure's number. SHIN, he beat Cure at IEM, he beat Cure at GSL, and now here in ESL Open Cup Asia, he's doing the same. As 15 SCVs fall in the defense. More Lurkers have arrived. Where are the Ghosts? Where are the Liberators? They're not here. They're still in production. The Lunkers, they have arrived. Behind this, SHIN happily mining on 83 workers. He finally gets his goal base back up and running. The Vipers are regenerating their energy. Sucking down those buildings. Snipes going off. We do catch a couple of these Lurkers. The Ghosts have finally arrived. But SHIN is maxed out. And basically, we're waiting for the Vipers. And they're coming. We're waiting for the Vipers here to meet up with the main army. Cure. He is struggling to hold on here. He is struggling. Big blinding cloud here on the tanks. We collapse here on the final tanks of Cure. We head in towards the natural. GG gets called. SHIN, he just has far too much. He snowballs out of control and will take the series 2-1, taking down SHIN. Oh, sorry, taking down Cure. GG. It's early in the morning, but GG, well played. SHIN, he will take it in the end. He will advance on, and Cure gets knocked out here again. SHIN just seems to have his number time and time again. I mean, I say that, I don't think I should like make it specific to Cure. I should say SHIN, his Zerg versus Terran is out of this world, because SHIN hasn't just been beating Cure, he's been beating Clem, he's been beating all these other players, all these other Terrans. And alas, does it once again, advancing on into the semifinals. Congratulations, as I should update our lovely admin. And also, to be fair to Cure, he always broke SHIN. Remember when Cure was pushing towards that third base and was just unrelenting, and he was gaining ground, he was killing Banelings. There was a point there where he had killed 8 queens as SHIN was barely trying to hold on, and he failed to break the tank line. I was worried that SHIN had too many Hydras, but he barely did pull it off, and he won it in the end. GG. GG, well played. SHIN, he survived the aggression of Cure, and then he was in control. Suddenly, the pendulum swung in favor of SHIN, away from Cure. And SHIN was able to take it from there. Congratulations. As we can now head on over and catch up on the bracket. Let's go.